Oh, my phone is dead, so y'all gonna have to share it, and I'll share it later. Because I didn't even bother to charge my phone up while I was at work, and I got home, started watching videos, and you know what? Matter of fact, hold on, let me go grab my charger.
Let me share in these groups. Hopefully they're back this time. Yeah, you be doing that quick, Travis.
Yep. Shared it with every group that I possibly could.
Alrighty, let's go. Let go, let get, let go.
Let me just share it on my Facebook, and then we should be straight.
Jansen is at Jansen's name, so I'm not sorry. He just added me. Oh, okay. I see the Okay.
All right, guys, we're pretty much rolling, and we'll pass it to Sean last, but we're going to get started. Jansen Harris here with the Flying High podcast. We're presented by the Birds of Prey ATL Group. Your Future Media for all media purposes. Visit Your Future Media and Got Skills Pro for handyman assembly work in the Atlanta area. We got Nate, like always, Travis. Sean's going to be with us in a second or two. Fellas, let's talk about training camp. Let's talk about these position battles. Let's start with you, Nate. What intrigues you the most about this Falcons training camp and some of these key battles?
Oh, start first and foremost. I want to start off with them linebackers. They looking good, fast, in shape. They heady. They being active, always in right position. What more can I say? Another one I want to throw at is the cornerbacks. I'm so intrigued. I'm so eager to see how that battle shapes up and see who, makes the point to be the starters.
Absolutely. Travis, your thoughts on Falcons training camp so far in those position battles? What have you been focused on?
I'm loving it, man. Like I said, I'm looking forward to the safety battle. You know what I'm saying, between Eric Harris and Hawkins and uh, Richie Grant. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to that battle, and also looking forward to the defensive line battle too, like a defensive end, defensive tackle. So it's gonna be very interesting, man. Like it's a lot of spots up for grabs.
Absolutely. Sean, welcome. What position battles are you looking at?
Can you guys hear me well? Am I okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I'm looking at the linebackers and really Kyle Pitts and the tight ends, man. I know we talked a little bit behind the scenes yesterday about Deion Jones getting an interception. People were going crazy because Matt Ryan, I guess, was interception in training camp. So, it's interesting to see. I just want to see how, how Kyle Pitts is against, our linebacker group, especially Deion Jones.
Oh, yeah.
How he tries to get open, and just really the relationship with the trying to build a relationship with Matt Ryan. Preseason starts in about another week, so I'm just really interested in seeing Kyle Pitts, specifically Hayden Hurst, and those guys go against our fast linebacker.
Absolutely. And Hayden Hurst and Kyle Pitts, you saw the interaction of what Kyle Pitts was saying on Twitter, basically saying, look, he's helping me get better. Not a lot of guys are like this in the league, which I want to know who he's throwing little digs at. But it looks like those two are on the same page. Matt Ryan throwing those two interceptions thrown behind him, and I've seen a couple other passes thrown behind him. No shade. We know it's training camp still, but the defense, to me, the defense looks all right so far. And Kyle Pitts, the reports that I'm hearing is that he's blowing by guys, and he looks like he's on a different level. Let's talk Chandler Jones. Look, his name is being linked to the Falcons and many other teams. Could the Falcons pull off a move to bring in Jones? How realistic is that? Or do you think it's just a wet dream, Nate?
I say a 50-50. I'm leaning towards just seeing what we have in camp. But you got to keep that possibility. You got to keep that door open. You never know. Because at the same time, you do have injuries. You do have, minor setbacks. But at the same time, as Chandler Jones being a veteran, he can sit there and just take his time and just pick his poison. He can wait for the prime opportunity to jump on the team. Hopefully, it might just be us. You never know.
Okay. Travis, your thoughts on Chandler Jones? Can the Falcons pull off this trade? The cap has been up and down for the Falcons. Some people they say the cap, we have this much space. Now we don't. Now this, now that. Do you see Terry Fontenot being aggressive in his pursuit over Jones? Or, like I was telling Nate, is this just a wet dream and just something we're throwing out there on a wish list that won't happen? Travis, you with me?
I think it's I'm here. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I think it's more of I think it's more like a wet dream myself personally. I mean, I would love to have him because that's one hell of a pass rush we could get him. I think that'll put us over the top. But the thing is, like I say, the money situation, man. The guy, he's gonna want money. We don't have that much to give. So now there are things they can do. Like I say, Terry Fontenot could restructure maybe like a Grady Jarrett's contract or something like that to like free up money to bring him in if we really wanted to do that. But just from what I see with how we doing, bringing in pretty cheap players, but like we're going more of quantity instead of quality. You know what I mean? So I don't really see it happening, but I would love for it to happen, but I just don't see it happening.
Absolutely. Maybe they can extend somebody and Jones, they can go try to get him. Look, a lot of people talk about Marlon Davidson. If he steps up, then maybe we don't even have this conversation because a lot of people are high on him this year. Sean, Chandler Jones, do the Falcons try to make a trade for him, or am I tripping?
I mean, similar to Travis, I would love to get Chandler Jones. I think he'll definitely be the best edge rusher we've had since allegedly Vic Beasley in 2016 when he got 15 or 16 sacks. You know what I mean? I know Grady Jarrett's there, but as far as the edge rusher, but so Chandler Jones would be a great pick. I was talking to someone the other day saying, hopefully we can get Chandler Jones, but again, like you said, the cap is up and down. I guess this is the reason why we let go of Julio so we can free up some cap space. You know what I mean? But seeing that the preseason's about to be here, and it's not saying that the trade deadline. I mean, obviously it's like week 8, whatever during the season. It's a possibility, but I think the Falcons might be pretty set on the guys that they have as far as the veterans in there. So I don't really see a Chandler Jones, but I'm hoping.
Okay, guys, I'm usually the question guy, and I try not to throw my take in there, but let me say this. Dante Fowler Jr., and I've been saying this all along. Hey, look, hopefully he hits me up and hits me with some words back on this one. There's no excuses for you. You have to step up. We wouldn't be linking every single guy who's disgruntled a free agent. Maybe the Falcons, if you just did your job.
Yeah.
Like, you're 26. I really don't feel bad for Dante Fowler Jr. You got to step up this year. He has to step up.
That's true.
There's no way around it. The injury thing, look, his agent and him, I don't know if it's true or not. You guys would have to educate me on that more. I don't know, but I guess it's a pretty good excuse. That was great they came out and said that now it puts this season where he must perform. So we don't have to keep which veteran needs to come in, who's going to help save the defensive line, who's going to help Grady Jarrett out. It's getting ridiculous, guys.
Oh, yeah. I totally agree with all that. I totally agree.
Getting ridiculous. Sorry, let's get back to the questions. Let's talk about some Falcons that got released. There's a bunch of them. Tony Brooks, James. We got an outside linebacker, Emmanuel Ellerbee. We got a 6'6" offensive lineman, Jason Springs. Guys, any significant players here you think the Falcons probably shouldn't have cut? Any guys you're like, whoa, maybe he could have done something or helped on special teams? Or do you look at this list and say, yawn, whatever? What do you think, Nate?
I'm not even going to speak on Tony Brooks. He was going to be a camp casualty anyway, so it's better late than sorry. He shouldn't even stayed on the team. Tell you the truth, because I think the real reason why Tony Brooks got let go because of Javion Hawkins. Let's just be 100. Like, this man is probably 3-4 times even way better than Tony Brooks, even though they kind of similar, the same player. Ellerbee, the linebacker, I want to say we had him at one point. I don't know why we released him, but special teams is what I see this dude's number. I don't see him, doing anything other than that. Hey, he might, but all I see is special teams on him. Briggs is the wild card with this addition because with Caleb McGarry being hurt or on the pup list, I ain't gonna sit there and say he being hurt. But you always need offensive linemen, always. Swing tackle, we ain't got one yet. So it's always a plus when you have intriguing battles because you want to find that top 5 and 6 guy across the offensive line.
And it seems like all the time, Nate, we're always having that discussion, or people, what's the Falcons going to do? Scrambling the offensive line together. And a lot of times, to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's always the size. You got good size. Sometimes I'm like,
oh yeah.
Sometimes that's the downside. We're just talking about, he got good size. That don't mean you can play, but hopefully these guys find new homes and they can go into other people's training camps and maybe win a job on special teams or something like that. Travis, any of these names that the Falcons cut you think was a mistake or just normal day at the office?
Well, I mean, I knew Tony Brooks James had no chance in hell, like Mr. Menzo, to make the team. So I already knew that was going to happen. And as far as Jason Spriggs go, I think he actually, like Nate said, he actually got a chance to make the team just because of offensive line rotation and offensive line play. With his size alone, 6'6", 300 pounds, he's got an opportunity. You know what I mean? He just got to get out there and make it happen. Now that Caleb is on the pup list, he can actually get in there and get some reps and might have a fair chance of getting either backup job or whatever between him and Mayfield. So, and Ellerbee, I think he's just more of just a special teams guy, just come in there and help the special teams. But I don't see no significant pickups as far as those two. Just camp bodies more or less.
Yeah, I feel you. Maybe he's related to Leonard. Maybe we can get a job from him. Sean, you got that one.
Yeah.
Sean, any of these guys' names on this list, should we care that they got cut? Anybody that you're like, whoa, Falcons should not have cut him. He could do something on this team, or should I just move on from that?
I mean, yeah. I'm not. I don't think there's anyone that's necessarily a mistake. I feel for him though. Just like you said, Jansen, at the end. I mean, these are these guys' dreams. Hopefully they get a chance somewhere else. To be honest, but Tony Brooks, I think like Nate alluded to, the running backs kind of deep. Mike Davis, even Cordell Patterson, we got Javion Hawkins. So it's going to be tough for Tony Brooks to get real playing. So sometimes, hey, shout out to Raheem Mostert. He had like six different teams before he got
absolutely
to San Francisco. So maybe the best yet to come somewhere else. But I'm not too concerned with the cuts that's been happening. Hey, it's just part of the business. So we got to trim it to what, 52, 53 players. So part of the business, part of the territory, folks.
Absolutely. Love that breakdown, Sean. Again, Bird of Prey HCL, the Facebook group. Go join the group. You got great information there literally every single day. Love the job that they're doing. Your Future Media, for all media purposes, visit Your Future Media and Got Skills Pro. If you need assembler or handyman work in the Atlanta area, visit GotSkillsPro.com. I want to give a shout out to Dave in the comments. Says he represents the Just Good Network. Dave, me and you always go back and forth on YouTube. You show a lot of love. Thank you for joining and listening. I know you thanked us for the conversation. Love the questions as well, too. Hopefully, Dante Fowler Jr. does surprise some people, and we're having a better conversation about him in the next couple months. COVID-19 and what DeAndre Hopkins, he said that he may be pursuing retirement. And first of all, how this relates to the Falcons is this, because it's a monkey see, monkey do type of thing. Do you really feel like he'll pursue retiring? And if he does this influence players around the league, Nate?
Oh, that's kind of sketchy. Yes and no. I mean, it's really not going to harm us. I mean, there's a few cats. If I'm not mistaken, I've seen a video when they were talking to Chris Lindstrom, and he took that vaccine. We're pretty much 90%, if I'm not mistaken, vaccinated. So we're in good shape, according to the league. Now, everybody else, I mean, it's kind of hard because I mean, you see COVID kind of creeping back in people's lives slowly. So, I mean, I hate to see him kind of. It's just weird. I mean, I hope he don't retire. I hope he just kind of, but at the same time, it's up to you. It's your choice. I just hope they don't mandate it and make us and force us to do this. That's all I hope.
So Nate, before we go to Travis, you don't think the attitude should be Hopkins, be quiet, play your role?
Oh no! Oh no!
You think it's
no.
fair that he
Yeah, I totally speak your mind, speak on this because I mean it's basically our body, our choice. Until they sit there and say, "Okay, Hopkins, you just can either retire or you take the shot." Until then, hold your ground, players. Hold your ground.
Okay, Travis, your thoughts on this?
Well, like I said, I hate it for him because he's such a great receiver, great player. I don't want his career to be determined on taking a vaccine or not. You know what I'm saying? Like it shouldn't be mandated for him to take it if he don't feel comfortable with taking it. Because a lot of people have taken it and it's done killed folks. It's made folks sicker.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of things. You don't know how it's gonna mesh with your blood cells and everything. You don't know how it's gonna mesh until you take it. So it's like really you just taking a chance. It's not 100%. It's obvious because there's been people vaccinated 3 times, fully vaccinated, and that's died, which makes no sense to me from COVID. Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's just I think they should have some kind of testing protocol to where they have like a testing protocol like on a Saturday right before the game, and if you pass, then you play. I think that's the way to do that. I don't think it should be forced.
It's funny, Travis. I had a question for you, and Nate just hit my head, but I was like, let me not go CNN, Fox News on it, and really like break it down into certain groups that'll like it, certain groups that won't like it. Let's just keep it like for football COVID. Right. Sean, your thoughts on COVID-19? D-Hop, one of your favorite players, coming out and hinting towards, hey, maybe I'll retire. Maybe I'll just say I'll hang it up.
Yeah,
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with Nate. It's at the end of the day, it's his personal choice. And again, this is obviously the 2021 season is coming, and we know what happened last year with 2020. This is a new thing. The stadiums weren't filled off for like the first half of the season for majority of the teams. Then eventually, when we got towards the playoffs end of the year, you start seeing more fans. And now they're saying it's supposed to be full capacity. Like football is football. Like they need that money. I don't want to say they need money, but you know how it is. So yeah, it's still a situation. But I mean, they didn't mandate it. They didn't say you have to take it. I understand that. When one of your better players you want to be able to be on the field. So
they're moving to that.
Yeah, maybe the owner's like, hey, you might take that.
Hey, you guys know that, right? They moving to mandate. They finna force everybody to take this, just so y'all know what's coming.
And that's unfortunate because, like, in the end of the day, it's like, I mean, that's a personal decision. Like you mentioned, Travis, like, of course, I'm hearing this allegedly a new strand or something coming out with another. I
heard about that.
Yeah.
It's a variant. It's a new variant of the COVID-19. It's supposed to be like 3 times worse. But the thing is, they saying you shouldn't even get the vaccine if you're fine the way you are, because they said people that caught it already and got over it. Right. So it's like unless you got like certain illnesses, really sick, you shouldn't even take a chance.
I don't want to get too CNN and start putting my Ben Carson on, but no. My point is, guys, that I mean, hey, the only one. Cole Beasley also had I watched this interview yesterday, and he was talking about how I'm not pro-vaccine or anti-vaccine, but at the same time, I mean, it's just me. I don't think he's taking the vaccine, so I understand. You know what I mean? But it's like this, though. Period. The more guys who are getting vaccinated, I mean, but then again, I guess I just stopped myself because if you have COVID, some of these guys are getting COVID even being vaccinated. So the guys who don't have it, you're just gonna have the same protocols as last year. Hey, just try to, you can't put you in a bubble. Too many teams, y'all are all across the country. So just try your best to be safe. And if any team, I'm gonna end off with this. I mean, it's possible. Nobody from the Seattle Seahawks, I kind of like some players in that team. Nobody from Seattle had got COVID last year, not one person. So it's possible. It's just, hey, I think that's DeAndre Hopkins' decision. I don't think they should mandate it, but hey.
And then let me say this too also before you move on, Jens. Let me say this too also.
Yes, sir.
With the COVID thing, like I said, people are like, they how can I say this? With the COVID thing, therefore, like if you get the COVID, they are talking about forcing teams to forfeit games, like to give up games and take a L essentially, like just because you got COVID, and they're gonna give the win to the opposing team. See, I don't necessarily agree with that. They need to come up with something better than that, because that's gonna be like, that's gonna happen throughout the season. That's gonna be crazy.
Well, yeah, but if they sit there and just postpone it and then move it to a later date, that's just going to prolong the season. So it's just a way for them to keep everything structured. If you take the vaccine, if you don't take it, you get COVID, that's a loss. If you catch it and just move on. I mean, they trying to structure this to the point where we're going to handcuff you either way it go, no matter what.
And what you going to do if your team mess around, say a team catch COVID 3 times in a row? They're going to keep giving you L's? That's crazy. See what I'm saying?
For the bad team, that's not good. For a lot of these things,
like you might lose just on a technicality. Like, that's crazy.
But that's the thing, too. Like, I heard that in the news. Like, are they saying one specific player?
That is true. That's a good point. That's a good point, Sean.
I think the biggest thing is they don't want to do like last year. Like, I remember the Steelers had to play like they barely. I think they had a week 3 bye, and they ended up. I remember they played the Baltimore Ravens.
They didn't even have a full crew.
It was and they ended up playing the Baltimore Ravens on a Wednesday at 5:00 NBC. I'm like, is that RG3? The game started at 5 p.m. It's supposed to be around horn time.
Yeah.
No, but like it's just funny seeing that. So I definitely know the NFL doesn't want to have games on Tuesdays and Wednesdays like they did. And football is football, but at the same time, like the rest and everything. So I think that's why. But I don't know if any of us know, but I would like to question, like, so is it a certain amount of players? Because I know the whole Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson had got COVID last year. That was the game he missed against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the running backs and the receivers. So I think it has to be a certain.
And he got it again right now. Lamar Jackson
got
it again.
And also,
right
another point, like the LA Raiders or Las Vegas Raiders, they whole offensive line. Like, if just say your whole offensive line get COVID, now what you gonna do?
I guess you got it.
And that's what I'm saying. But that's why it's important to have depth. You know what I mean? So you got to have depth all the way across the line. Yeah. And plus, just like now, Kellen Mond, the rookie from the Vikings, he just caught COVID. So they sitting out the whole quarterback core: Kirk Cousins, Kellen Mond, and the other guy, whoever he is. So they can't even show up to practice today because they got COVID too. Well, Kellen Mond did.
Look, that might play a factor with these teams. The backup quarterbacks, it ain't just about the starters. Whose backup quarterbacks are going to step up? They got to sit out a game or two.
In that playbook.
Yeah, hopefully they're doing something besides on that clipboard. But let's move on to the pup list. Physically unable to perform. Look, there's some big names on here. Caleb McGarry, Dedrick Senat, which there's people who believe he won't be a Falcon much longer. He's a little bit of a toss-up type of guy. And Dante Fowler Jr. is on that list. Travis, I want to start with you because I love the thumb thing you were doing. You hear these guys' names on the list. What are your thoughts? And I guess you can answer that question about Dedrick Senat, him making the team, and going on that.
Well, I'll start with Caleb first. Like I say, he's very important. He's our starting right tackle, so we need him to get back ASAP. At the same time, it's going to be good for People like Jalen Mayfield, the rookie we drafted to play some right tackle, and like you said, Spriggs, who we just picked up from Green Bay to get some reps, so we can see what we got for when we don't have Caleb. So that's very good, and that's important. But as far as Dante Fowler, that's supposed to be our number one pass rusher on the team. So we need him obviously healthy and show up and do what he got to do because, like you say, there's no excuse for him this year. None. I don't want to hear nothing. I understand you can't help this right here. I don't know what's going on with you, but you got to get this together and come back, get double-digit sacks, do what you got to do. Help teach them young guys and get them right. As far as Deidre Sanat, he don't stand a chance. So I don't think he's going to make the team anyway. That's just me personally.
Why do you feel like Sanat won't make the team? Do you feel like he's just not as good as – there's people out there who vouch for him. It's like a 50-50 thing in Atlanta. And I'm not talking about he's obvious. He's not a huge impact player. But
I'm one of them. I still feel –
like I said, I say the people – no offense, Nate, but the people that vouching for Deidre Sanat is mostly Falcon fans that just love their players wholeheartedly and don't want to see nobody go. But you know how that goes. We got stronger depth at defensive tackle. We got better guys that's better than him, and he's been there for a while and hasn't made pretty much damn near anything happen. So I don't see how he's gonna make it this year when we have better defensive tackles that we just put on the team this year. I don't see how it's gonna happen.
Nate, your thoughts on the PUP list? McGarry, Sanat, Fowler Jr. Your thoughts on this?
First and foremost, with just reporting the camp, I kind of think they need to address their accountability. With that being said, if everybody else can show up when you're away from the facility, you practicing what you now. If you get hurt, working out, that's one thing, But if you're doing some unnecessary stuff, that's another. You can report and be on the PUP list. I'm not gonna sit there and just accuse these players of doing, but Dante Fowler getting COVID. If you're on the PUP list for COVID, player, what are you doing? We had a whole year to learn how to play it safe, stop being around crowded people. Like everybody else ain't getting COVID, but how you get COVID again, player? I'm just saying. But McGarry, it's unfortunate, but I think he'll be back stronger. Give everybody else Spriggs, like Travis mentioned, Jalen Mayfield, give him some extra reps. He'll show his versatility. Deidre Sanat, I really liked him coming out. I think it's a numbers game. Unfortunately, the old Reigns didn't play him accordingly because he was inactive, unnecessary, healthy inactive. So, but with this PUP list, it's not going to really hurt it. I mean, it really just dampened his chances to even make the team. So, I just see him on the outside window looking in. So sad. Oh, well. Oh, well.
What'd you like about Deidre Sanat before we move on to Sean?
It's just when he was at Central Florida, he was nice. He was a good run defender. He showed you a little bit of pass rush, and just a young, promising, tight little defensive tackle. And just watching, just imagine him and Grady clogging the middle was I wanted to see it, but it's just he wasn't getting the opportunities. I didn't know if it was during his work ethic or just him not performing. I mean, we won't never know because he was always inactive. So, but I think when he played in the game, he stuffed a few times, but it's just he didn't get enough reps. Then the next week he's on inactive. Wow, he's healthy
because he couldn't beat nobody out. He couldn't beat nobody out. That's why.
Man, he could have beat Tyler Davidson out. I'm sorry, Tyler Davidson wasn't bringing us nothing.
Did he beat Tyler Davidson out?
He should have.
I want to hear this. Did he beat
Tyler Davidson? Wasn't doing shit either.
Right, but he got more reps. He was starting over him. Was he not?
Why?
Because he was a better player. No. I think because he was a better player.
Okay. Travis and Nate spar over Deidre Sanat.
Okay. Hey, me and Nate go at this all the time over Deidre Sanat. So all the time.
I just hate that the man didn't get a fair shot. That's all. That's the only reason.
That could be the case. That could be the case. I give you that, Nate. That could be the case.
Whoever text that was, the FCC had just texted about Nate. So but for me, Jansen, I'm saying Dante Fowler, man. Similar towards Nate. You know, this is you got my last name too, man. I mean, it'd be a dream for me to get a try. But the point is this, though, Dante Fowler, hey, it's time to step up. And I think what upsets us Falcon fans about Dante Fowler is that he played well for Los Angeles at least one season. You know, he in Jacksonville. Did he come from Jacksonville?
Yeah, he came from Jacksonville.
Yeah, sure. He had a couple good years, and it's like.
He had flashes. He did have flashes with us when he played, but he just wasn't consistent. And the COVID and when he got injured and stuff, man.
It looks almost worse than Vic Beasley because it's like, you know, okay, Dante Fowler is in, Vic Beasley's out. You know what I mean? So let's just at least replace or add to or whatever Vic Beasley left. But just like Nate said, you know, if it's not one thing, something else. You know, so him on the pup list, and I mean, you know, he'll be fine to start the season, but then COVID and protocols, it's just like, come on, man, come on. So that's really, I mean, honestly, that's the guy I'm really focusing on right now, especially the last name. So.
I think not having no off season really hurt a lot of the players too. So I believe.
Yes, sir. Dean Pease, the defensive coordinator, the new defensive coordinator for the Falcons. A lot of expectations. He's accomplished, won a Super Bowl as a defensive coordinator, and 3-4, 4-3. Expected to show different fronts. What 7 players do we expect to be on the field consistently or maybe in that rotation for his defense? Travis, let's start with you. How do you feel this rotation is going to work itself out?
Well, I'm going to break down the 4-3, and I'll let Nate break down the 3-4.
Okay, cool.
And, well, I just think as far as the 3 linebackers starting, as far as the front 7, I already know that, well, you know, Foyer will be at outside linebacker. And, you know, Deion Jones will be in the inside, in the middle linebacker. And you got Mikael Walker, which I think I win that job on the other outside linebacker. And, like, far as backing them up, I think it'll be like Brandon Copeland backing up Deion. You got Kobe Jones. You got Sharif Miller. Those might be the guys backing them up. That's a possibility. But as far as the defensive end, like I say, I want to see Ayo, the defensive end from Notre Dame, start. That's what I want to see personally. But it probably end up being Stephen Means starting at defensive end. At defensive tackle, I want to see Marlon Davidson, but it'll probably end up being Taquan Graham. I like Taquan Graham, the rookie that we drafted. I think that he'll get a shot. Hopefully he can win that job. And then on the other side of him, at the other defensive tackle, I like Grady Jarrett, of course. He'll be starting there at the other defensive tackle. And beside him, you got Dante Fowler, him being out right now. So you got other guys got opportunity to get more reps. So, but besides Dante Fowler, like I said, you got Tatui Mariner and you got Jonathan Bullard. So you got a lot of guys that could. We got a lot of depth at the defensive line position. So it's going to be hard to tell who's going to be the backups, but we know who the starters going to be at those positions.
Great breakdown. Nate, can you give us the 3-4 and what you expect from Pease in that formation?
Oh, out of that 3-4, I can see numerous of different rotations. I mean, I will say my linebacker core will start with Fowler. I'm not even going to mention the COVID, but Fowler, Alua Khan, Debo, and Walker as my starting linebackers. My 3 down linemen would be arguably Jarrett. I'm hoping and I'm pushing. I would say Tyler Davison, but I'm hoping for Sagapolo, the big Samoan that we just picked up. Good size for a good traditional nose tackle that fits the 3-4 defense. I would say Stephen Means as that other defensive end. I would love for Marlon Davidson to start, and you could actually throw in Stephen Means or Ballard. Forgive me, I forgot. Ballard from that we picked up from Seattle or Chicago, where he came from. But with the outside linebackers, you got good rotation. You can basically move that over to a 4-3. But as a traditional 3-4, you got your rotation with Tucci and Mariner as your outside linebacker. AO as an outside linebacker that can play a 3-4 stand-up lineman or linebacker, or you can put him as a 4-3 defensive end. Either or. We have the versatility to play both the switch up at any moment on any specific down. When it comes to just the front seven, we stack. We stack.
Got a lot of good depth.
Oh, this sounds like depth equals a better defensive ranking for the Falcons, and hopefully.
And I didn't even speak on Copeland or I'm forgetting somebody. Even the undrafted rookies.
You got Kobe Jones.
But I mean, this is probably one of the most intriguing teams that we have this year, and that I've seen in a long time. Being a Falcon fan, I'm very intrigued by the depth of this team.
Yeah, like I said, you got E-Roll, you got E-Roll Thompson, Kobe Jones, like I say, Brandon Copeland. We got depth. One thing we ain't had in a long time is depth on this team. So we got depth pretty much in every position this year. So we should be a lot better than what we was.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Sean, Nate, and Travis, they talked about the depth across the front seven, some in 3-4, 4-3. What's your comments on Dean Pease's defense, and who do you think benefits, and any fronts, anything you're looking at on that D line or with the linebackers that you think is exciting?
Yeah. For me, I'm on a 4-3 type of guy, man. It's good to hear that we have depth. Because in the past it was injuries or something, or you just really couldn't trust anyone besides Grady Jarrett. And really the veterans, Grady Jarrett, Keanu Neal, Deion Jones. So for me, I like the 4-3 more for the Falcons. I'll be interested to see how the 3-4 works, because I still don't know if we really got that edge rusher. When you have a 3-down lineman, you got to get pressure. We know Grady Jarrett's going to get pressure, but they might be double teaming him. So we have 3-down linemen and 4 linebackers. We got the line. I think we're pretty solid linebackers. But I'd rather trust 3-mile linebackers, Lil Khan, Deion Jones, Dante Fowler in the linebacker core than the 3-4. So, I mean, I'd like to see all the other players, the younger players that are, getting their shot to, see what they can work on this year. But I'm going to lean more towards the 4-3 because I trust our linebacker core more than I do our defensive linemen. But hey, it's good to know that we have depth and that we can be versatile. So I'm just going to say that.
Great breakdown.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the reason why I'm more leaning towards that we are suitable for a 3-4 defense.
Yeah.
Dante Fowler walk and stand up rather than try to tussle with 300-pound offensive linemen in the dirt. So, I mean, but the good thing is we are interchangeable. They do have the versatility to play in the dirt. I'll stand up.
True.
Okay, love the breakdown. I want to point this out. Grady Jarrett, we didn't mention him much when it came to the being versatile. I think Grady Jarrett, who was disrespected by some of those Madden ratings, I think that Grady Jarrett is going to benefit from Dean Pease and take his game to the next level. You'll see the Grady Jarrett we saw in the Super Bowl year. Also, I think Grady Jarrett will help him become a better leader, seeing a guy like Dean Pease who's won a championship before. I think that culture changes and it helps him, and hopefully it helps the defense play better. Jarrett being that leader, being the guy each and every game who brings it, plays his heart out. I think his numbers increase. I think he has a big year. I think he uses that Madden. Not a lot of people are talking about it, but his rating I think should be a little bit higher. And he's definitely a top 10 defensive tackle in my opinion. Saying that, look, guys, I looked across the board, didn't see anything on the Madden ratings, but we're gonna get there. Let's talk about some weed. Roddy White, Julio Jones, they were partners in a weed business. They didn't call me. I need some money too, right? I need some money. But it went south. Potentially felons, and they're being accused of fraud and selling weed on the black market. Your initial reaction to this, Nate, do you think there's some truth to this? You think any serious things are going to come of it, or do you think it's all he said, she said?
I just be like, why? Like, I just shake my head. Like, you wonder why Julio Jones was in COD, MIA, talking about leaving Atlanta. I mean, I don't know. Roddy White is a big surprise to me, but you never know. It's not too much of a surprise. They always on a boat, in the Caribbean, fishing. They probably blowed in the mud. I ain't even mad at them. What you do in the off season? What you do in the off season? But it was just kind of weird how it all kind of transpired through all this. Julio Jones want to get traded, want to out of Atlanta, all this and that. Now all of a sudden, Roddy White, we thought it was Migos. It probably was Roddy White who was trying to get him out there. I'm just being real. I don't know.
Oh,
I'm a Roddy White lover.
I told you when Julio Jones was hanging out with Amigos, I told y'all they were smoking weed. I told y'all.
I don't think it was Amigos. I think it was Roddy White. I really do.
Could have been.
In the bando, man, the bando.
I don't know. Because they brothers for life. Hey, I don't know. It's confusing. I hope nothing transpire out of it. I kind of hope it is just water under the bridge. Everybody's just trying to, just get a little money, but I hope it don't tarnish nothing. I really don't.
Sean, what are your thoughts on this? Was it a big deal to you when you heard this? Were you shocked? We know how much you loved Roddy White. Is this like, wow, what's going on?
It's not a big deal. These are former Falcon players. I heard to say with Julio, former Falcon. But no, it's not a big deal, man. I mean, at the end of the day, weed is legal in almost all the United States anyway. I just don't think it's a big deal. These aren't active Falcon players, and I don't think it tarnishes their career at all. Because the good thing with Julio Jones is he never had any off the field situations. He didn't have the Josh Gordon case either with the weed. The whole incident. You know what I mean? So I look at Julio the same. I think he's fine in Atlanta. He's gonna be fine in Tennessee, and also look at Roddy White the same. I don't think he did anything controversial as on the Falcons. So I don't think it's a big deal for me.
Are players allowed? I'm confused about these policies. Are they allowed to smoke weed, or is just the off season?
I don't know. It's like now they're starting to be able to. I don't.
Well, it's kind of a don't ask, don't tell, unwritten law, unwritten rule. Everybody knows in the off season, smoke your weed, do what you got to do, but cycle off before it gets close to training camp because the testing is coming. Everybody knows this.
Because Calvin Johnson, that's all he's been talking about ever since he got inducted in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, I was getting high, player.
It's like they say all the players do it. They just cycle off leading up to training camp before they start getting tested. You got to know when to cycle off, though. Some players don't, and that's how they get in trouble.
Okay, cool. Look, a little bit on a serious note, guys. I'm sorry I had to be this guy today, but when you look at the whole thing on weed, and let's talk about some of the athletes the student athletes who look up to the professional athletes and stuff, and technically you're smoking is still playing with your lungs. Do you feel like, yes, the players should be able to do what they want, and maybe weed isn't a drug, but maybe still keep in mind that a lot of younger kids trying to get to that level look up to them, and you think it kind of is like a green light to say, hey, smoke weed in high school, middle school, and still try to be the athlete?
I'll say this for me real quick. I feel like for me, I never smoked weed before. I don't even know the process of me rolling up. Hey, but it kind of depends on the era, man. Because now that weed is legalized in a lot of the states, I feel like kids and teenagers, they're gonna do what they want to do, whether it's legal or not. Not illegal or not. You know what I mean? So that they're always gonna find a way. But now that it is legal in a lot of these states, I guess you can't necessarily blame the players, but Janice, and all you guys know, we're in our 20s and 30s, it's like weed's always been looked upon as a negative thing, so of course, and we know, unfortunately, Josh Gordon was like he was like what's the word?
The poster child.
He was the guinea pig, the poster child of not doing weed and stuff. So, if you're from our era, then it's like nah, you can't be smoking weed on Instagram Live, especially with a football player, this and that. Alden Smith, but at the same time, or David Irvin, not Alden Smith, David Irvin, excuse me. But no, I think it depends on the era, man, because now that it's legal, it's like, should they be tarnished or should it be a bad perception on it? But at the same time, I mean, I think it depends on the era.
No, it shouldn't be tarnished because I'm gonna
Yeah,
tell you, man. All your favorite players are smoking weed. I'm gonna tell y'all now. I don't know if
Why
y'all
you
want to
breaking
believe
my
it.
heart, Travis?
I'm just being real. Listen, everybody that you think ain't doing it. I'm telling you. And a lot of the things about it is they need to go in and actually make it legal, but it just depends on your maturity level on how you handle it. It's the individual. That's got a lot to do with it too. And like I said, the weed got a lot of healing properties. Like it helps players to de-stress, help with their injuries, help them to recover better. That's what a lot of players say. Now, I'm just going by what they say, but that's how I see it.
Hey, hopefully it could help, and I hope he comes back healthy. So before I throw the shot at him, if Carson Wentz, maybe that could help him with his.
That he probably needs to smoke some weed.
yeah, he should have been smoking weed. I don't know what's this dude fragile.
I mean, my take on the weed thing is it's always been there. I say the only negative thing I can say is like now you make it legal, so it just, in my opinion, it seems like it's not fun no more. When it wasn't legal, it was fun to smoke. Nobody knew. Now you can get it pretty much everywhere. It's like, what's the point now? It's like going to a liquor store. If you in a little town and the town ain't wet, you got to drive somewhere to go. Now it's like, now the town is wet. It's like, I'm tired of drinking. You can just walk up the street and get some liquor.
It goes hand in hand, man.
Yeah, I don't get it. But I mean, when it comes to just players, just like it's therapeutical. It heals. It's pretty much medicine. It's not a drug. At the same time, just like Jonathan Williams say, it's up to I don't know about the suspensions when it comes to the NFL, how they going to treat this rule. That's a very good question. I don't know, because with it being legal and everybody speaking up on it, it's really up to the NFL to kind of distribute that little situation right there. Because I mean, they can't stop these kids from doing it. They gonna do it, but how they actually treat that little situation with the suspensions or as long as it's probably not or forming enhanced drugs and stuff like that, the weed is weed. Come on.
Absolutely. Mr. Motivator, what's up? Tack McKinley, we got to find some playing time for Michael Walker ASAP. I feel Jonathan, what's up?
I totally agree.
Dave, shout out to you again. Guys, that was a great conversation on weed and your thoughts on that. Let's talk about Eric Harris and Daron Harmon. How do you feel like this situation's playing out? Because there's a lot of guys who are Harmon guys, there's a bunch of Harris guys, and they're not the most popular guys in the world, but there's a lot of value there. A lot of people were excited about Terry Fontenot signing these two. Shout out to Mr. Harris and stuff like that. First of all, we both got the same last name. Second of all, for retweeting that video and I was talking about you, I appreciate that. Nate, back to the point. Nate, how do you think this is going to play out? For that, Mr. Motivator, thank you, man, for showing support. Holla at us. You feel me anytime.
Oh, I've loved the signing of the Ron Harmon. I wanted him from the jump, from way before we even realized we got Dean Pease. I wanted him. I'm a big, huge fan of him. I always watched him. Eric Harris, I'm noticed just watching video that he was always in position, and he rarely made mistakes. I mean, he's not the biggest, playmaker and all this and that, but he's always in position to get stops, or if the play presents itself, he'll take his opportunity. I truly think that they will make the defense back end a lot better, a lot smoother for the young cats, and at the same time, we won't have to rush Richie Grant, which arguably I think he will eventually take over Eric Harris's spot. But that's three good, solid safeties that we have on our team.
Okay. Travis, how do you see this playing out with Harmon, Harris, and Grant? Let's throw him in the mix too, Grant.
Well, like I said, I think we picked up two good veteran safeties by bringing in Eric Harris and Deron Harmon. Deron Harmon is big. Like I said, me and Nate talked about this. Nate really did want Deron Harmon before we even got him. And I was looking at him. I was like, I didn't know much about him, but I seen him when he was with the Patriots, and I think he was with Detroit. And, my first cousin, is a Patriot fan, so he talked to me about him. He couldn't stand him, but he was glad they got rid of him. But I like, for what I see, I think he's gonna they bring veteran leadership and teach those safeties how to play, and he's always in position whenever I did see him on tape. As far as Eric Harris, he flies around the ball, man. The little opportunities that he did get, he was always around the ball, somewhere close to making plays. And he's a big safety. He's got speed to burn, and all he needed is just the opportunity. It's kind of like the Michael Turner behind LaDainian Thompson situation. All he needed is the right opportunity to get in there and start and show people he can play.
Exactly.
So I think he's good with that.
Sean,
And also being familiar with the defense, he's gonna make it real easy for it.
Great point, Nate. Yeah. Sean, how do you feel about these safeties? Actually, you played a little bit of safety too, right?
I did,
in
man,
college,
right?
Sean. You played a little bit of safety. So how do you feel about these safeties?
I mean, yeah. Hearing what Nate and Travis said, I'm not too familiar with these guys, to be honest, but I think the biggest thing this offseason, man, was for our safety, Carter Allen, John O'Neill, KZ is going. So it's good. And I think we probably talked about this earlier in the year in our first couple shows. We were talking about the depth. So yeah, I just like that we're trying to fill in that depth.
Yeah.
We need guys who remember KZ led elite interceptions. I think it was 2018 or 20. Maybe it was 2018 or 27, something like that, or 17. I'm not sure. Yeah. Maybe 18. But so hey, we're gonna need guys who might take a gamble and get turnovers because we've never been the type that really get a lot of turnovers. So whether you're a ball hawking safety or not, or you want to take chances, we're gonna need that. We understand our offense is always gonna be top 10. Matt Ryan's gonna put up his stats, this and that. We're gonna talk about that in a few minutes. We're gonna talk about Matt Ryan in a few minutes. But we understand our offense is gonna be fine. So the defense, we need takeaways, we need sacks, and things like that. So I'm pleased. We'll see week one though against Davis.
Yeah, I look, Richie Grant. I like that pick. I think he's going to be a ball hawking type of safety. For some reason, Eric Harris, and I like the plays he made when he was with Oakland. When I think of him, for some reason, I think of Eric Snow. I do not know why. He's just consistent, but it's like, what I'm saying? He's just like a consistent guy.
Yeah.
Why does that just hit my head? I don't know. I've always known Eric Harris as that type of player where he's on the field, make some plays. He ain't getting any credit for it, really, but he can make some plays. What I'm trying to say.
He's one of those guys that's going to be there and get things done on the low and nobody going to talk about, but he's consistent what he do.
He's that guy. It's like the guy at work who you're like, dang, man, he ain't the best worker, but he there.
But he consistent.
He just ride that straight line. He just ride that straight line.
If you need four boxes, he gonna give you 4 boxes every day instead of whatever.
Yeah, but he ain't never calling out. So
right. He gonna be there every day. Like, dang, that dude don't never miss a day of work.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Oh my God! We got on. Yup, he definitely gonna be that guy. Let's get to the last but not least. Had to talk about it. The Madden rating for Matt Ryan. Look, guys. Part of talking about the Madden rating, it's a fun thing to do. Plus, slow news days too. It's always a fun topic to talk about. Matt Ryan, he came in as the 10th best quarterback. His rating was 85. Travis, you shoot. We went at it yesterday with this. The whole group. We got to do it today again. Travis, why do you feel Matt Ryan was disrespected with that Madden rating?
Well, I feel like I think his rating was 85.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
And listen, I feel like he should at least be a 90 rating. At least because of what he did last year. Like I say, he was top 5 in passing as a quarterback. That's still pretty good. That's good enough to have a 90 rating. I ain't asking for 95. I'm not asking for 97. I ain't asking for 99. I said 90. This man should have at least 90, a 90 rating. Like, this is ridiculous.
Nate, your thoughts on Matt Ryan's 85 rating, 10th highest in the league?
I like that. I like that he's 10th. at least, in Madden's eyes, he's a top 10 quarterback. Let me point that out.
That is right.
Hey, we're gonna be disappointed next year because then they're gonna put him a point down and put him out of the top 10, and then we're gonna have this conversation again next year.
But at the same time, in a way, I would have went with at least an 80, at least 87, 89, 90. But 90. It's like what you consider as an elite. That's my thing is, what do you consider an elite? Is it 90? What, 99 elite?
Or is that 90?
I don't consider 90 elite. I consider like 95 and up elite. I consider that elite.
See, I kind of think that 95 is somewhat elite. 95 and up. Like 90 is kind of like
the really good quarterback should be. They should be 90, like the really good.
Like an 85 in a way. No, 85. Come on, man.
85 is like below average. That's like an average quarterback. Almost a little bit below.
Tag me in.
No. I know you're finna go on, Sean. I already know you're finna go on.
I was
on the Madden Rating or set by saying
85 should be like what is Kirk Cousins?
Average,
Kirk
Cousins?
No, that ain't what I mean. What I mean is like, man, listen, Matt Ryan 85, man. Like, come on, man. Y'all know that's disrespectful.
Yeah, like I don't see just with 85. That's kind of low for a quarterback that has been
passed for almost over 5,000 yards.
Like,
and that's top 5 in pass.
I'm not going to, because at the end of the day, it's just over. It's year to year. But
85, like you say, and like you say, 85 ain't bad, but it ain't great either. That's the point I'm making.
All right, thank you, guys.
One last thing. Matt Ryan could have at least been 90, been the only 90 on the Falcons team. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we ain't got one player that's in the 90, and that's disrespectful again, and it's all right. But go ahead, continue.
Sean, you might get a turn in 10 minutes.
I'm sorry, Sean. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. Y'all good. Okay. I play Matt every year, all right? So my point was yesterday, guys, look, Matt Ryan was 87 overall last year, okay?
How you drop?
Listen, let me finish.
This is what I'm saying.
Let me finish.
He'll be in the 70s next year, but go ahead, continue.
Yeah, so look, my point is this though. Matt Ryan, they think he's a 10th best quarterback. I don't think Matt Ryan is a top. I barely have him top 10 to be honest. That's just me. That doesn't mean he's a bad quarterback. Doesn't mean he's a bad quarterback. I think he's a solid quarterback. And I think for what he's ranked as the 10th, Madden-wise, because again, I see the Madden ratings because I played every year. I see where they're ranked at because I played and I see where they're the linear guys. Matt Ryan 10th, that's around an 80. That's a B plus. One of my guys right here, Josh, excuse me. He says 85 is not bad. It's not. That's kind of accurate with Matt Ryan. He's a B plus quarterback. He's not elite no more. Like I mentioned yesterday, he had 3 game-sealing interceptions against the Panthers, Bears, the Chargers. Horrific interceptions. I'm not blaming the whole thing on Matt Ryan. I'm not a biased Falcons fan.
Neither am I.
All right, excuse me. I'm not saying you are, but my point is this though. Matt Ryan is really good, but he's on a hot seat for a reason, And Matt Ryan being the 10th best quarterback, hey, I think that's fair. That's fair. He's around there to me. So if you're going to be the 10th best, 85 overall, that's fine. 90. And I'll end with this. 90 and above is like, okay, we're reaching that 5 to 6, maybe to 7, because Dak Prescott, we always talk about stats like that. I know we mentioned this yesterday. He's rated 87. Now, again,
he got disrespected too.
You say that's disrespectful, but again, Travis, I keep going back towards. I understand where Madden is trying to get at. I'm not saying the ratings are completely accurate, but to me, when I think of it, if you're 90 and above, you're almost that top tier one. You're almost that top tier one guy.
I can agree to that.
That's why I say like 93 and up. You can say that's like elite.
Brother Travis.
Listen, I said 2 words because Nate said 2 words. But go ahead.
I'm almost done. I know I'm getting long with it. 2 in the morning.
Yeah, guys. Let's finish up.
Because I play man and I see the ratings of what they did before. The top tier guys to me, Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, in no particular order, Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers. Those are the top 5. Of course, they're going to be 90. Lamar Jackson, you could throw him in there. He was the 5th best on the game because overall as a quarterback, he's a 90 overall, I believe, or 91. So when I look at Matt Ryan, Dak, they're hovering that tier 1, but they're a B+. They're almost there. That's why Dak is an 87, 88. We need to see more. I think Deshaun Watson was like a 90 as well. So I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't think it's disrespectful because I look at Matt Ryan as a B+ quarterback. But that's just me.
I totally disagree, but continue.
I think
when you break it down like that, dog, I gotta contest.
Look,
I don't agree at all, but I respect your opinion. I respect your opinion. I respect it.
I'm kind of leaning
too. I respect yours too.
I'm kind of leaning.
I totally disagree.
I'm kind of leaning on this with you, Sean. I'm actually surprised they had Ryan at 85. Like I didn't know that.
I didn't even know it was a top 10. See, when you said top 10, I'm just like, well, I gotta just say I agree.
I thought he was gonna be like an 83 or something like that. 83.
Nah, see, that's even more disrespectful.
Because
that's crazy.
That's what I thought. I think I looked at that list, yo. Baker Mayfield is way too high. He's the 11th best quarterback in the league. Well, I don't think so.
That's all
Ryan. I wouldn't have said that. I mean,
that's all for wins.
But this is what I'm saying. Like they got Christian McCaffrey rated 97 overall. I mean, this dude can't stay healthy to save his life. I mean,
one missing year.
Like, I mean, what are they going off of? That's what I'm saying. Saquon Barkley. I think Saquon, they had him in the top 10, and he got injured again last year. So why?
We know he's a top 10 running back, Travis. We know he's a top 10 running back.
But you do this based on what you do on the field, though, right?
Derrick Henry should have been 101 or 100. They should have a perfect.
Yeah,
he should.
Anybody that gets 2,000 yards, that's automatic like 100.
Jalen Ramsey, I think 99 overall. Is he not?
Cap.
Best corner in the league. I want to put him that high though. I agree.
Because he got burnt a lot last year.
Yeah.
Everybody gets burnt. It happens.
But
I know, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying, like, if you're 99, you shouldn't be getting burnt like that. That's the point I'm making.
See, what's JJ Watt? Knowing dang way his back hurt. I'm just saying. But he probably a 90
like 94, 93 or something like that.
95.
At best, I give him. I said at best.
Hold up. Matter of fact, I got it right here. Hold on. Give me a second.
He's probably a 95 because it's JJ Watt. I'm just saying. But I like JJ Watt, but still.
I thought Allen was underrated with the 87 or 80. What was it? 87?
Where is it at?
I like Derrick Henry a whole lot, buddy.
But he don't catch.
Oh, JJ Watt is 94.
I hit it right on the nail. 94.
94. I said like 94, 93.
94.
Yo.
They're tripping a little bit.
Man, they got their favorites.
I'm just saying.
I look at the Madden ratings. This is how I look at the Madden ratings. I look at the Madden ratings like the Pro Bowl. It's a popularity contest. That's how I look at it. People get snubbed every year. That's how I look at it.
How was Aaron Rodgers at 99 after the year he had last year? I don't get it. I don't get it. I think Josh. Can you look up Josh Allen's real quick? I know we got to get going soon.
I don't have the quarterbacks on here. I don't think they had them listed. Yeah, they don't have a quarterback.
Josh Allen was pretty low to me. I think Lamar Jackson was higher than him.
Josh Allen's a 6th best. I can see that.
Look at this. Saquon Barkley is 90 overall, and Ezekiel Elliott is 88 overall.
I think Zeke's a better. I
can listen. First of all, if you're injured every year, you cannot be in these top 90 somethings if you're injured every year. You can't.
He was just injured. What 1 year was it?
Saquon, he's been injured the last 2 years straight.
Oh, he should be a 78 then.
What a whole year. I say, like, it's a popularity. It's who they like. If they like you, they're gonna show you love. If they don't like you, feeling you like that, they're not gonna show you love, man.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Fellas,
what you say?
Y'all got me laughing today. Hey, y'all were in y'all bag today. This is a Fly High podcast. If you like the show, go subscribe.
Sean, it's all love, man. You know that.
Uncle Steve's Lounge, gentlemen, the black version of the Fantastic Four, great convo. Hey, I'll take it. That's a compliment to me. I'll take it. But great show, guys. I knew the Madden thing would be great topics because literally, everybody got
their take on Steve.
Everybody got their take on that. But great show. Can't wait to talk to you guys next Sunday. Again, Birds of Prey ATL were presented by them. Your Future Media, Got Skills Pro, socks. Get some customized socks. I ain't got them on yet. I don't want to show them. I don't want to show them what my shot game looking like. But guys, great job. Shoot, Madden ratings changed during the season, right?
Yeah, they go up and down. That's the good thing about it, though. It do go up and down as the players perform. So watch out for the Falcons. That's all I'm saying, Sean. Watch out for the Falcons.
I'm a Falcons fan. Let's do it.
I know. I'm saying watch out for Matt Ryan's rating to change. That's all I'm saying. Hey, but I do like what Uncle Steve said. He said we are the black version of the Fantastic Four.